Okay, again, thank you for joining here. My name is John Brink, and this is Travis O'Neill. I run the Applied Intelligence practice for Tableau on the global perspective, and Travis does delivery for North America. So what today we're going to do is talk to you about success stories Accenture has with Salesforce plus Tableau. The agenda is going to be very, very straightforward. I'm going to give a little introduction, cue these stories up, and we're going to give you two stories. What you'll see here is we're really having two threads that are going to go throughout these stories. One is your technical solutions, and then the other one is your cultural change. Okay, you need both to have a successful story. So while we were going through this, I was looking for some kind of quote that I thought represented what we needed for change management. Okay, so I came across this quote, and let me read this out to you. Driving change across organization requires effort and coordination of multiple stakeholders and users with different and sometimes opposing, yet valuable viewpoints and interests. Orchestrating change and doing it efficiently requires executive advocacy as well as alignment and participation from a broad set of cross-functional participants. Is that quote familiar to anybody? Okay, so I found this quote on the Tableau Blueprint overview, okay? So that's good. So I'm aligning the product here. The product has hit it out of the park with centering correctly on the kind of environment that we find ourselves in every day. So with that being said, let me now hand it over to Travis. He's going to tell you a great story that really focuses more on the back-end technical side of Salesforce and Tableau integration. And Travis, why don't you take it away here?
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to do this on a global beverage company. So some background as to what sparked this initiative was really due to the beverage market experiencing numerous challenges, including society turning to being more healthy overall. And traditional beverages, along with the market overall, was just declining with all the competition, with all the microbreweries, the seltzers coming out. There's just a lot of competition in this market. Accenture was tasked to help unlock these new insights to gain a stronger competitive edge within that landscape, hopefully to grow their market share. We were able to leverage the leading end-to-end analytics with the assist of machine learning techniques across over 100 data sets globally and with large disparity. One thing I can't stress enough was how disparate these actual data sets were. I'll get into that a little bit later. This provided the next-gen ability to allow key business decision makers the data-driven insights they actually needed to have, at their fingertips. The solution was a highly customized Salesforce application that leveraged Tableau dashboards to provide insights to over 1,500 sales reps. And these are sales reps globally, in the field, day to day, doing their jobs, talking to markets, talking to restaurants, bars, the Walgreens down the street, their day-to-day job. And they're doing this all on an iPad. It's all mobile friendly. That same suite is used by the leadership of the company. So Tableau and Salesforce work seamlessly together to provide a single solution that was mobile and user friendly. Tableau was integrated in three main ways. You had the embedded dashboards in a Salesforce page that provided the insights at the user's fingertips. It's very seamless. There's no moving screens, no clicking anything. You just scroll the page, and there's your dashboard. The other way was a link out to a dashboard from Salesforce application to the Tableau server, hosting that environment, and that provided much more complex dashboards to be built. You have multiple dashboards that were linked together, so they can get that whole suite of information from a one-stop shop, and very easily get back to that Salesforce page they were just on, and continue on with their duties. The other one, which was we were involved with a beta program in Tableau, and that was to help with the deep linking between the Salesforce mobile app and the Tableau mobile app. This actually allows you to go from app to app, which is much easier. You get a lot more functionality. All of that dashboard when you're able to use their native applications, not a browser hosted by Salesforce. The outcome was able to provide and improve user adoption, insights, and overall performance of the application, and the sales reps, the jobs. Everything was made much easier for them. The solution addressed the business challenges, such as the slow application performance. They were experiencing performances that were, unusable. If you're looking at a web page, if you set for more than 4 seconds, you're going to move on to the next web page. This is what they were experiencing in their former applications. They wanted to be, quicker. They wanted to click a button, get the insights they need, speak intelligently about it as to why they're being promoting this product or promoting to this bar, right at the fingertips. No wait. That's what we were able to do. Multiple platforms before this application came about were having to be used. Go to one application to look at their historical data. You go to one to look at the pricing that they can provide to that customer. And these are all disparate. And we were able to bring that all together. And then we automated a lot of manual processes. It would take the people in the office hours, weeks to compile some of these reports that now are aggregated up to the leadership level, and they are also down to the granular level of a product line, a single SKU even, when you're talking to this customer. These challenges presented a great opportunity for Tableau, Salesforce, and Accenture to come together and deliver this advanced analytics with deep insights into the customer's business, the market, and the overall industry to gain that competitive edge. So what are the results? We did leverage the latest machine learning techniques. A lot of these come from, you might ask, what were the machine learning techniques that we used? They were leveraging mainly Hadoop and Python, but ultimately these were able to take into account the surrounding, say, Walgreens, surrounding bars if you're talking to a bar, surrounding, whatever market you're looking at, and say, hey, based on your trend of people who show up there, at any given time, these are what these other outlets, these other customers, what they're selling very well. So that's why they would promote. We would promote we would suggest, via the machine learning techniques, as to what product line should this bar now sell in their tap line, for example. This allowed us to be, very flexible in how we worked with that client. We worked with many partners from Tableau, Salesforce, the client, Accenture. Within Accenture, we had many varying disciplines. We had data scientists to help with the machine learning piece of it. We had, visual gurus, as I'll call them. They come up with great products. People on the Tableau practice. And you also have the engineering piece, how to connect all these pieces together. That was the biggest challenge. When you start working with all these different systems, you have to have them all integrated. And that's where the bulk of this work happened, integration. How does all this flow together? How do we get it to be a seamless experience for that user? Because we want the adoption to be there. When the adoption's there, you'll have the successes that you're looking for. This is some of those bottom 2 points are, from the global beverage company, directly from their C level. They're aiming to get that 4 times the investment that they put into this project within that first year of operations. And over the life of this product, say 10 years down the road, they're estimating about $100 million worth of revenue on this. So, that's very high level. The back end of that, how the solution was able to work. Integration between Salesforce, Tableau, and all the independent pieces of that puzzle. All right, now let John talk about his story.
So, and I appreciate that, Travis. Before we move on, though, I do have a question about this, right? So, I'm picturing a machine learning scenario where you said that we have, a company employee going to do prospecting sales, and they're looking at this application here on their mobile, and then they're getting product recommendations and then sending those over to the customer?
They are. They're actually talking to the customer, on the iPad in the store, sitting down with the manager of a bar, say, and they're actually looking at this on their app, and they're saying, based on your portfolio,
Sure.
the market, where you are. Say you are in downtown Chicago, you're in the Loop. That's where I'm from. That's why, it's near and dear.
Yep.
In the Loop. The Loop's not very busy at night. It's busy during the day. So you want to hit like the early happy hours. Like if the bar down the street is doing great in this one product line, you should probably have that in your bar too.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense. So I got another question for you. I'm not going to let you go here.
All right.
User adoption.
Yep.
You touched on that. So now we gave a employee new technology that they're using should be an enabler to help them to sell, to make recommendations.
Yep.
Was there, talk to us about the learning curve that you saw.
Yep. Yeah. Change management is a big deal. When you start talking about, you're completely flipping around the user experience and what they're used to. I mean, they've been doing this job, say, for 10 years, and now you're saying, hey, now use this new shiny tool. To them, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Is it going to be replaced in a year? They don't know the background that went into this. So there was a lot of communication, training, education, all of the fun stuff they get to do with these very digital transformations that companies go through. Well, it was well received. They started playing around with it. They started like, hey, I can do this off my iPad. I can do it in the parking lot before I walk in to talk to the Walgreens manager. There's very little prep time, so it saves them a lot. And it actually gives them more opportunity to get through more customers of theirs, with better results.
Sure.
So.
Well, great success story. Thank you, Travis. So moving on to, Travis talked about a global beverage company. I'm going to talk about a global products company. Okay, let me give you a little bit heads up with this company. The size of this company is fairly significant. Big multinational company, right? Fortune 50 company. They're in every global region possible. They're in tons of different markets. They came to Accenture and said that what we want to do is create this enterprise data lake of all our data sources, and then I want you to pull some insights out of that. Create something through the tool of Tableau, give us some insights to our dashboard, okay? So basically what we did is we wanted to look at what they currently have, which was Einstein, okay, in their dashboards. Very seamless user experience within Salesforce, and then to replace that by Tableau. Along the way, they also wanted to, join different data sources to provide better insights, to get rid of some, user reporting that they did, which was antiquated, and then also to do some consolidation and report reconciliation, right? So here was the task. We were to help them build a data lake, and then to actually help them, and the phrase I used here is reimagine their whole insights, right? So this was 12 dashboards that we we co-created with the customer in terms of mocking it up and getting the user requirements. And then we had about 16 weeks to do this, okay? So tough deadlines, right? So we had the rationalization part of it, the design, and then we even had to do a little data modeling. So this was a constant theme throughout. I'm gonna turn this way because I feel like we're giving this side a lot of attention, so I'm gonna turn to you guys here, okay? This was a constant motto we had throughout the project. This was what the voice of the customer was. By the time we get this data, it's not relevant to us anymore. It's hard to use. It's not giving the insights. We need not just intelligent insights, but the speed to the insights as well. What they wanted to do is turn their business to obviously a much more data-driven culture. What you see here is an analytic model. This came out from Harvard Business Review, and kind of where they were at in this particular way, if we can generalize, right, is they were at stage 2, and they of course wanted to be an analytics competitor all the way on the right-hand side, but they knew they had to take a little step. So the step 2, number 5, would be number 4, and this is where they wanted to be, okay? So let's dive a little bit into that. So here's their current state, okay? So you see a lot of different data sources, and what else do you notice? Different departments, right? HR has their own data set, finance has their own data set. This should all be somewhat familiar to everybody. I see people nodding their heads. So you had this scenario, and then because we want to do executive reporting, then we had a QBR, which is a quarterly business report, okay? Again, Excel, PowerPoint, the typical tools, right? Salesforce, on the other hand, though, their data set was being pulled into Einstein, okay? Of course, you know, in reality, this is the way it was, but it was a little, it wasn't as clean as this, just like every environment, right? But they were using Einstein to pull information from Salesforce. So we came in, did some strategy work, planned out their future state. So we had all their data sources. We're gonna create correct joins rather in the enterprise data lake, and then we're gonna pull them out by different insight tools, okay? So 3 tools, right? So you had Einstein, you already had that. They had a mixture of pulling in from Alteryx with Tableau, and then they had this other third-party tool, which I won't name, but it was a scoreboarding tool which really focused on a hierarchy, which they felt Tableau just didn't do well, and some other things that they felt that this specific tool would be a better play. It didn't work out that way, right? This is what actually happened. During the development process, they realized that this tool here wasn't going to be able to provide the function that they wanted. So while we had a concurrent work stream with Tableau, they decided to look at the success we had in that work stream and give us that load there. That's how we got to 12 dashboards, okay? Again, as much as I would like to say that was, of course, partially our resources, right? Our delivery team did a great job. We're also good because we're leveraging the power of the tool with our delivery acumen, right? So we're able to do that. So we actually we gained a work stream, we won a work stream just by being there and this other tool not providing what Tableau could provide. And along with that was to retire the current platform, which was Einstein. And the reason why we brought this as an example is, you know, of course, just looking into the horizon a little bit, as we may see definitely some questions, if not some in actuality, of moving over from Einstein to Tableau. This case here provided a really good example of some of the particulars, maybe not technically, because we don't know how the product is going to look, but some of the particulars in the cultural and the change management that we would expect to see. So here was lessons learned, okay? Now some of these aren't Salesforce specific, they're not Tableau specific, they're just general BI delivery. What I'm going to try to do as I go through these 3 is to kind of make an emphasis, put a Salesforce flavor to it, or put a Tableau flavor to it, to show you how the differences within the nuances within the tool may change our delivery approach. All right, so the leadership communication plan. This was crucial, right? We needed sponsorship to deliver the message to every person who's ingesting the dashboard as to why we are moving away from their comfort zone, which was Einstein, into Tableau, okay? Again, that could pertain to any kind of conversion or replatforming. Click to Tableau, Power BI to Tableau, something else to Tableau, and you'll notice how I don't say Tableau to anything else, right? Everything's going to Tableau, okay? And then also setting realistic expectations. Every tool has their things that people like about them, okay? So not diving too deep into it, but if you look at Einstein from a standpoint, and Travis alluded to this, being a seamless user experience. It's already in the tool, they're working within the tool, and then you have your dashboards there. Now we had a different workflow. They were in the tool, and then now they wanted to see the dashboards, they had to go outside the tool. So even opening up another browser window felt to them like it was a derivation of their usual look and feel, right? So we had to manage that culture there. We found that was a little harder than was to be expected. The other thing that we saw was that while we were doing report reconciliation and rationalization, we saw that there was confusion between the way their older dashboards were designed and the new dashboards design that we brought in. Okay, why? Because we felt their previous dashboards were not designed according to leading best practices for visual design. So when a customer, for example, was used to seeing 12 filters, really pick your poison, right? Seeing 12 filters, now you had to say, well, I know that worked for you to an extent, but now we're going to go ahead and create a new dashboard for you, which according to best practices is what? 5 filters or less, right? Use dashboard actions to navigate, to bring out the flavor and the insights and the data. So in a way, they felt that as somewhat limiting to what they previously had, okay? So they confused that because now they felt they were a little bit inhibited because of the features, right? But they didn't understand that we're not talking about comparing a BI tool to another BI tool. It was really the design to the design. If I asked you what is and let me be fair here, let's do a non-Tableau comparison, right? If I were to say, what's better, a Power BI dashboard or a Looker dashboard, right? You need more information to determine which one's better. You may have someone design a completely horrible Looker dashboard and a great Click dashboard, and someone looking at that is going to look at the design and confuse that with the tool, okay? So those were the lessons learned. So as much as we want to say that we obviously have to do some technical solutioning, we also have to manage the culture, okay? Change management was a big deal with this, okay? So at the end of the day, the project was successful. We were able to deliver on those dashboards. We had to do a lot more change management than to be expected, but it really worked out for the client, okay? As a follow-up, if another question comes to mind or you would like to talk to us about other success stories, if you're a client or if you're someone who wanted to discuss about career opportunities, we're at booth 416, okay? Thank you guys for showing up and I appreciate your attention. Have a good day.